Rivals of Aether II is officially available, and I wanted to share my initial impressions as well as introduce some of the basic gameplay aspect as an experienced fighting game and platform fighter player. Hopefully this can give some insight on how the game works and help you decide whether or not it's right for you. Let's start off with the character design. All the characters are anthropomorphic animals, so in other words, face and skin that looks like an animal but has human arms and legs. For example, Zetterburn is a lion with flaming hands. He punches opponents while burning them and has massive protagonist energy. Rano is a frog monk who does a lot of acrobatic kicks. Squeaky voice, cute guy. However, we do have exceptions like Orcane. He's an orca that runs around on 4 legs? To me, he looks more like a happy puppy than a killer whale. Maybe he's a hybrid. Who knows? Anyways, there is a nice variety of designs, so unless you dislike the animal theme itself, there's probably something for you. There are also skins for each character, so even if you don't like the base look, you might find enjoyment in custom aesthetics. Here's a comparison of Loxodont, the axe-wielding elephant, and his chef's skin. I dislike playing against him, but the skin always gives me a chuckle. Alright, let's go over the gameplay. This game has your standard platformer control scheme. To do an attack, you press one of the 4 cardinal directions, or neutral, and press weak, strong, or special button. If you have played Smash Bros. Before, think weak as your A button normal, stronger as your smash attack, and special as your B button special. Nothing out of the ordinary. What makes this game special is the movement speed and options. For example, if you have played Smash Bros. Ultimate, you may have heard of a term called dash dancing, where you trot back and forth to create threat in space. In this game, dash dancing can be done in smaller increments, so instead of moving a set space back and forth, you can go long or short to make micro adjustments to your spacing. And if you want more options, you can jump, immediately dodge into the ground for a sliding move known as the wave dash. For people who have played Marvel vs. Capcom series, this technique name should be familiar. Similar concept and movement. The special thing about wave dash in Rivals is that it allows a player to do any kind of grounded weak attack while moving back and forth. If you simply dash, you are forced to commit to a dash attack, which can be more punishable. Now, if you combine dash dance, wave dash, and platforms, you can do some pretty awesome movement. I mean, look at this. This is the definition of schmovement. There is a part of me that can sit in training mode all day, just moving around for fun. And the nice thing about all of this is that it's just a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more techniques that may improve ways of moving and attacking, but it's a bit too much to cover. This is an introductory video after all. So let's move on to another core aspect, the offstage offense and defense. In platform fighters, once you knock an opponent off the stage, you can try to prevent them from returning. One main way of doing this is to re-knock the opponent out. However, in Rivals 2, unlike most modern games of the genre, gives you another option. It allows a technique called edge hogging, where you can grab the ledge to prevent the opponent from latching onto it, essentially dooming them if they have no other way to get back on stage. This mechanic existed in older games such as Smash Bros. Melee, but were removed from the newer ones. So why bring it back? One reason is that it adds a layer of strategy for both players. For games like Smash Bros. Ultimate, your main goal as a person knocked off stage is simply to get to the ledge without getting hit. That's why in most matches, you see players recovering from the lower part of the screen as it's much harder to hit them. By adding this mechanic, Rivals 2 forces players to do more reads. The offstage player may need to gauge height and distance and weigh the risk-reward of recovering onto the ledge versus recovering onto the stage itself. Grabbing the ledge may give them temporary relief as they get brief invincibility, but they may fall to their doom if the opponent is already on it. However, if they go for the stage itself, they may avoid losing a stock to an edge-hogging player, but may get further damage as most recovery options, well, has a lot of recovery. At this point, some of you may be thinking, extra layer is good, why was this removed in newer Smash Bros? Well, in older games, it was simply too strong in some matchups. Characters such as Sheik and Captain Falcon had very limited recovery options and were heavily punished once they were off stage. So the developers at Nintendo altogether removed edge hogging, while the Rivals of Aether developers took a different approach in simply giving characters a lot more recovery options. And this is where the game shines. Let's take a look at Rano, the Frog Monk. His up special is an upward diagonal attack. Once it's done, he goes into free fall state and can no longer take any more actions. Pretty standard as recovery moves go. Now the special thing about this move is that you can go for a follow-up with down special to do a downward attack. So now the person trying to keep Rano off stage has to think of different angles to cover. And not only that, Rano regains the ability to do other actions once the follow-up finishes. So if the stage has a wall, he can wall jump off of it and do another up special to go for the ledge. On top of all this, Rano has another moveset to help him recover. He can summon a bubble with down special, move it under him, then use his 4 special tongue lash to latch on it to propel himself forward. Yet another way to recover. This may sound a bit too much, but each of these options are fairly telegraphed. And to me, that's the general feel I get for this game. It seems like the developers provided strong tools but allows players to circumvent it with a variety of options that seem fair. And the cool thing about a lot of these options are they require some sort of setup. Remember Rano's bubble? If it's already summoned on a different part of the screen, you cannot create a new one. If it's far away from him, that recovery tool is no longer available. Not only that, the opponent can hit the bubble to move it, so if it's poorly placed, the follow-up tongue lash can miss. Lots of very cool interactions that feels very layered. This might be a weird way to describe the gameplay, but to me, it feels like a game that was developed by anime fighting game fans who wanted a sequel to Smash Bros. Melee. Rivals of Aether II has incredible speed and plethora of crisp movement options that is heavily inspired by Melee, and the amount of powerful and unique tools that each character has reminds me of the likes of Guilty Gear and Under Night In-Breath. Honestly, as a person who played these games, it's a great combination. So if you're a fan of platform fighters and was curious on why so many dedicated people play Melee, this is a great accessible game that you can try out without looking for old hardware or emulators. No need for Nintendo's legal team to breathe down your neck. It also has buffers, so it's mechanically a lot more forgiving. If you are a person who loves fast and technical platforming, this might be a game for you. I can see people who speedrun games like Celeste getting a kick out of all the movement options. Lastly, if you're an anime fighting game player and want some cool unique interactions in a different environment, try the game out. With all the positive things I've said, a lot of it would go to waste if it doesn't have good netplay. And you know what? It absolutely delivers. Rollback is so good that I was playing 2v2s with players on the opposite side of the United States and did not have a single hiccup over the course of 2 hours. Obviously, incredibly small sample size, but after a week of playing, I could count the number of rollback occurrences I've had in one hand. Pretty impressive stuff. As for the netplay modes itself, it has most of the bases covered. There's casual, lobby, and ranked. Casual mode gives you the option to play 1v1, 2v2, and free for all. Lobby allows you to create a room that can contain up to 4 people. Comes with both public and private options. Ranked mode, unfortunately, only comes with 1v1. I was hoping for a 2v2 option so I can do Team Force Burn with a friend and fill the screen with smoke and clothes. And yes, that's how the character works. It's quite a unique and fun design. Anyways, I hope the developers consider adding 2v2 ranked in the future. As for single player modes, there isn't much. The only thing that's available is an arcade mode that pits you against the CPU in either 1v1 or 2v2, but it contains no story, so no lore, no character interactions. The only highlight in the mode for me is the break the target bonus stage that some of you may recognize from Smash Bros. Games. A nice extra touch. I feel like it should have its own separate mode for the people who like speedrunning these things. Since this is a game made for competitive players, I was expecting a robust training mode. It does have a lot of options such as save states, dummy reversal options, and even a hit hurt blob viewer. The only thing I sorely thought was lacking was the ability to record dummy inputs. I wanted to add punishes to certain attacks on shield, but found no comprehensive way of doing so, and it was quite frustrating. Lastly, on going over the cosmetic shop. This game has 2 types of in-game currencies. The coins get you basic cosmetics, while the bucks gets you premier and event-based stuff. There's a Halloween event going on, so you'll see items related to that in the bucks section. coins can be obtained by simply playing the game or by exchanging bucks. Bucks can also be obtained by playing, but may be limited on how much you can get. The main method of acquiring these is by purchasing it with real money. Now, I'm not a fan of in-game currencies. I would rather pay for items with direct transactions, so it's clear how much I'm using and I don't have to deal with leftover credit. Unfortunately, this method has become the norm. On the bright side, the developers have announced that they plan to make all future roster editions free. So if you want to support development, these cosmetics are the way to go. So putting all this together, I would highly recommend this game to players who want a fast technical platform fighter with all the modern fighting game conveniences such as rollback netcode and comprehensive matchmaking systems. It is however made for the competitive audience in mind, so there isn't much single player content. Also, at the current state, the game lacks tutorials and content for new players. I didn't have much problems getting in since I played Smash Bros. Melee before, but I can see new players struggling without a beginner's guide. Maybe I'll make some if there is enough demand. Anyways, I hope you guys give it a try if it piques your interest. For less than $30, it's not that crazy of a commitment, especially when all future character releases are free. Alright, until next time, have fun with fighting games.